CCX Sports presents coverage of the State Class 3A Volleyball Championship. It is the final, Champlin Park and Eagan for the second time in 3 seasons. Hello and welcome to XL Energy Center in downtown St. Paul. John Jacobson along with Andy Gugasberg. And Andy, this is a matchup that a lot of people in the volleyball community really pointed to before the season started. Hey, it should come down to Eagan and Champlin Park. Doesn't always work that way, but it did this year.
Absolutely. Early on, that was the discussion as the season progressed. Lakeville North had a little something to say about it a couple different times, both against Eagan and against Champlin Park. But when you see the talent on both of these rosters, when you see the coaching staff, when you see the history, this is the matchup everybody wanted. We've been fortunate enough waiting, feels like 3 months, maybe even a couple of years since the last great battle we got to do on this exact same court.
2 years ago was Eagan defeating Champlin Park in 4 to win the state championship. Eagan has won 7 titles in all. Champlin Park looking not only for the first volleyball title, Andy, it's the second time they've been in the final. First ever in school history in their 27 years. They have not won a team championship in anything, so a little extra pressure on those girls if they're aware of that, in addition to wanting to win it for themselves and for their program.
I'll tell you what, it's a great school history here. Champlin Park, I mean, we've been covering them for the last 5 years down here at the state tournament. They've got the pedigree to get it done this year. Look for them to be firing on all cylinders as they have been all weekend. Eagan, used to being in this title match, what were you telling me? This is their sixth
year
straight?
in a row, yeah.
Crazy.
Well, let's look at our key players, starting with Champlin Park. They're the lower-seeded team, the number 2 seed for this tournament. Emma Schmidt played well this year, senior, 28 kills so far in 2 matches. 28
kills in 2 matches, and that tells a very small portion of the story. We've talked every time she's gone to the service line, she's been causing a lot of chaos for whoever's on the wrong side of the net. Her blocking is very powerful. She does a great job as an off blocker defensively as well. She does everything this team needs her to do.
And for Eagan, it's Kennedy Orr. She has been around seemingly for a long time. She had an older sister in the program as well. Still just a sophomore, first team All-State this year.
Yeah, Kennedy Orr going to Nebraska. John Cook can't get that kid on campus quick enough. This is her 4th state final, and she turned 16 a week ago. So she's got a couple more years, but looking to get her 3rd gold medal in 4 tries as they fell to Lakeville North in the final last year, and looking to get back after it again this year.
Well, unlike other matchups for each of these teams, there's no intimidation factor. Sometimes when teams play Eagan or teams play Champlin Park, some of the kids can get psyched up before the match started. That's not going to happen today.
No, these 2 teams used to playing against great level talent on the other side of the net. Most teams in the high school, most teams in the state of Minnesota have a kid or 2. Both of these teams come at you with 3 great hitters, and then one of them rotates to the back row. They don't even bother exhaling before they bring another kid who's getting looked at by a top 25 school, who's touching 10 feet, who's got over 200 kills. There is just athletes on both sides of the ball here.
All right, today Eagan wins if they do what? Champlin Park wins if they do what?
Eagan wins today if they can get the role players to contribute. They've got a couple big kids we mentioned, or there'll be another one in Ellie Houston who's going to get a lot of the balls. If they can get Juergens and they can get Wong a few big kills early and spread things out, that's the key to victory for the Eagan Wildcats. For Champlin Park, honestly, their key is to just play the way they've been playing. They're more athletic, they've got bigger, stronger kids, and if they go in and become the aggressor and stay the aggressor no matter what's going on the other side of the net, this is Champlin Park's match.
Should be a good one here. Eagan and Champlin Park for the Class 3A title today in high school volleyball in Minnesota. We'll take time out, we'll come back, set 1 on your way next on CCX.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
Beautiful night in St. Paul for the State Class 3A Championship in volleyball. Champlin Park and Eagan getting ready to go at Court 1 here at XL. 2A championship just about finished as North Branch is battling Marshall earlier today. Minneota won Class 1A. Let's look at the Eagan starters. Abby Moe, Peyton Rude, Elise Hughesman, a 6'3" senior. We'll be calling her name a lot today. Lauren Miller, Kennedy Orr, the outstanding sophomore, Kelly Johnson, and Kaylin Madison is their libero. And for the Champlin Park Rebels, Lauren Clark, Emma Schmidt, and Jordan Stalpus on the outside. Sammy Hilly, junior middle blocker. Hannah Prasky in the middle. Izzy Ashburn, senior setter. And their libero is Caitlin Weimer-Skirch. You know, Champlin Park, we did their match yesterday, Andy, had some errors, especially early in the set. John Yunkard talked in the postgame about some of that is what the other team is doing, forcing you a little bit out of your comfort zone and into some errors that maybe you would normally make.
Yeah, the serving prowess that we've seen from both of these teams in the first two matches lead to opponent errors more than anything else. Serving tough, blocking well, allowing teams to not feel comfortable running their offense. I think Yunker hits the nail on the head there yesterday. They got served off the court a little bit, and even when it wasn't an ace, they caught themselves in trouble in a one-hitter situation as Ashburn not able to run her entire offense. She'll start us off with the serve.
Ready to go. Championship match for 3A. The top two seeds here going for all the marbles. And Ashburn gets her set in play. Ball in the middle and into the net. And the first point goes to Champlin Park.
Yeah, big block in front of Abby Moe. And Abby Moe gets a little distracted by the shadow and misses on the first attack attempt.
Dug up by Miller, set by Johnson outside. The Kennedy Orr gets blocked. Schmidt getting up with the block along with Prasky.
Prasky closing that block and getting really excited about it. That's a big block here. Great close. Prasky dropping the left hand inside for the stuff block.
Little tip at the net and left, and 3 quick points for Champlin Park.
That ball control we talked about early, that's a tough pass. Kelly Johnson does what she can to keep it, but sends it across the net for a back row attack violation.
4-0 Champlin Park.
Gillen, not much of a emotional coach. 4 points in after this ace, and the bottom drops out. Madison in trouble. Gillen off her chair and encouraging Johnson to get her squad going. The sixth man, is that what they call the Champlin Park student section right behind us? Very engaged, very entertaining across the way. The pit, Eagan student section could be a great one from that perspective as well.
Ashburn, another good serve. Johnson gets ball up, and ball hit across finally by Eagan. Lauren Clark attack. 5-0, and Eagan is going to take timeout.
Early timeout here as Eagan trailing 5-0. Abby Moe and Peyton Rude used to being pretty dominant blockers, but we see what happens when future Penn State player Lauren Clark gets a hold of a ball. It's a big swing from her, and Moe and Rude not in any position to make a play. Just a gorgeous ball into the seam, and Madison stuck behind the block, not able to get the dig. It's an early 5-0 lead, and I don't know that Eagan has trailed by 5 points this entire season, and here we are 5 points into the state championship match.
Each team's lost just twice this year. Champlin Park lost to Lakeville North and then to Eagan in the tournament late in the season. Eagan lost early in the year to Minnetonka, also lost to Lakeville North.
Yeah, when Lakeville North lost to Lakeville South in the section final, the #1 seed was an easy pick for Eagan, and Champlin maybe a little bitter about it, coming out firing on all cylinders.
Ashburn's gotten this team off to a great start. Johnson setting back, ball hit across by Peyton Rude. They go to Schmidt this time, and it's long. And so a hitting error gives Eagan their first point of the match.
Schmidt relaxing after the attacking error. Nothing wrong with that swing. She just misses. Entering the game, freshman DS, Samara Amador.
Serves up here, comes in along with Christine Juergens. Go outside to Schmidt, get this one down, and it's 6-1.
Big swing down the line as Orr taking away the cross court. Schmidt says, thank you very much. This much room. Big swing inside the block and inside of Johnson.
Clark serves, an ace from Warren Clark.
Clark pulling the trigger on that one. Bottom drops out of it. Amador not one to get aced off, and this one is a gorgeous serve.
To Amador here. Johnson's got to run that ball down. Kennedy Orr misses wide.
Location off on that one. Is that pass not exactly perfect, but Orr has to put the ball in play, and you see Kathy Gillen lighting up the sophomore outside hitter.
Clark serves. Back it goes to Kennedy Orr. This time chipping it over. Ball to the middle. Hilly gets blocked. Schmidt keeps it up. And then over by Schmidt. Johnson back to Orr. Nice dig. Back row by Prasky and then out. Ashburn couldn't get it back into play.
Big swing and Prasky in the backcourt.
Stelpus. You and I always mess up.
We messed that one up at least once a match.
Goodness.
Stelpus making us remember who she is with that great defensive effort, but not enough.
Stelpus digs this one. It goes to Schmidt off the blockers and down.
9-2 Champlin, as every time there's a small, quick side out for Eagan, it is a quick return. And Schmidt abusing the right hand of Kennedy Orr.
Senior DS, Nicole Thompson in and serves. Ball set outside for Orr. Dug up by Weimer-Skirch. Ashburn back to Schmidt. Blocked, but out. Point Champlin Park.
Schmidt, you know, and John does this with his athletes all the time. They find the abilities of your opponent and use them as strengths for yourself. Big blocking team is Eagan, and that's the fourth ball they've used off the edge.
Outside Huseman gets her first kill. First time she's had a touch, and the senior makes it 10-3.
Huseman, one of 4 seniors on this Eagan squad. You know, I got an opportunity. Let's take a look at this last play. Huseman with a big swing inside the block. Late Hilly pressing. Little chant at Kennedy Orr, the sophomore outside hitter whose sister Bree was on that state championship team with her 2 years ago. Looking at that a couple years ago, there are a total of 6 players that were on the court in that match 2 years ago. Schmidt, Ashburn, Weimer-Skirch, and Stelpus all playing for Champlin. Kennedy Orr and Ellie Huseman, the 2 lone players from Eagan that long ago.
Amador handles that line drive serve. Ashburn will set outside. Stelpus, Madison way up in the air. Orr able to get it back in play, and Huseman will bump it over. Weimer-Skirch up, Ashburn back set to Hilly across the net, or Amador and over by Madison. Oh, and then it just drops in front between Panzer and Hilly for a Eagan point.
John Junker immediately all over his backcourt. Amador gets a second touch on that. It's an easy free ball, and there it is. 3 people taking 4 steps towards the ball and then it dropping. Weimer-Skirch takes this pass.
Stelpus pounds one for a kill. She had really an outstanding match yesterday. 13 kills, just 1 hitting error.
You know, we talk a lot. There's the big cross-court swing and another kill for Stelpus. We talk a lot about the 4 seniors for Champlin Park, but Stelpus on my all-tournament team, if I'm picking it, she's had a great 3 days here.
Or over by Madison. Panzer gets this one. Ashburn back to Lauren Clark. Dug up by Miller and bumped over by Wong. Laying out for that ball was Ashburn. Here's Kennedy Orr. Back set, pounded down, the kill for Peyton Rude.
Peyton Rude, the senior right side attacker, really getting through that ball as Huseman drawing the block of, I believe that's, yeah, this is the rotation where they have Ashburn blocking in the middle.
Huseman floating over the serve. Schmidt got it. Ashburn all the way across for Clark. Returned by Huseman. Weimer-Skirch up to Ashburn. Back to Lauren Clark. Hit the antenna and is out. Or maybe not an antenna, just missed on it. on the attack, and a point for Eagan at 12-6.
Big dig there by middle blocker Ellie Huseman as she wears Clark's seam swing.
From back, Stupples can't get it across.
Well, she did. She did. She funneled that ball between the block and the net, and it is a 13-6 Champlin Park lead.
Alpus, Madison tight from that, or back row attack on Orr, and a point for Champlin Park.
Kathy Gilling having flashbacks to last year when her serve receive fell apart in the state championship match, trailing 6-14.
Alpus serves one into the net here, and it's 14-7. Kelly Johnson back to serve. Ready to get Eagan on a roll here. Ashburn to Clark. Long. Missed on a couple of attacks here.
Clark with the big swing going over the block and out of bounds.
14-8. Ashburn to go back to Clark. Madison, Johnson outside to Orr. Block. That's another Eagan point.
Off the edge and out of bounds. The roar we hear from the other side of the curtain. North Branch winning set 5, 19-17. We'll take a look at Orr taking this swing off the edge and down.
Ashburn for Clark, off hands, back row handled by Miller. Johnson across to Orr. Good dig back row, Ashburn. A little chip over there by Stalpus. Johnson back this time for Rude. Another good dig. Here's Clark attacking. Long rally here. Johnson setting it for Kennedy Orr. Floats it over. Ball to the middle. Chipped over by Schmidt for the kill.
Great location from Schmidt out of the backcourt there as that ball drops on the 10-foot line. Rude takes a step. Johnson takes a step. Great play here. Good location. And Madison on the last second effort there. Not her ball in any way, shape, or form. That's probably got to be picked up by Rude.
Johnson setting to Orr. Ashburn quickly front row to Schmidt. Chased down by Miller and then over nicely by Rude. Ashburn back to Schmidt. It's the antenna.
Schmidt frustrated with her misfire there, had an opening over the block and decides to throw it. She's looking for that sideline, misses into the antenna.
Amador and Jurgens back in for Eagan. Schmidt pushes it deep. Johnson back to Orr. Block. Nice job by Johnson to get a hand on that ball. Jurgens keeps it alive. Now it's Weimer-Skirch back. Schmidt. Great dig by Madison. Jurgens across. Ashburn. Schmidt again. Johnson. Madison. Orr will attack. Champlin Park gets it over. Wow, what an effort there. A little dump there. Weimer-Skirch is ready for it. To Schmidt. Oh, and hits long.
Champlin Park looking for a touch. What I love about after that point, Izzy Ashburn brings the whole team in. It doesn't matter. That's a big swing. This rally extender here, great effort, and Weimer-Skirch gets it across.
Wow, a terrific point. Schmidt off hands. This one, a point for Champlin Park. We had an Eagan player in the net as well. They were going to get the point regardless.
16-11, Champlin Park leads here. Late portion of set one.
Clark serves. Oh, Johnson late to get to that one, and Orr able to keep it alive. Outside they go to Schmidt. Blocked. Point for Eagan. Nice job by Kennedy Orr.
Or just clamping on that ball, the ball that she wasn't across on last time. See how her eyes get across, and then she drops the right hand inside as she knows that Schmidt is trying to use the edge of her arm.
Ashburn to Hilly in the middle. Madison to Orr. Back row handled by Stelpus. Here we go to Schmidt. Another good dig. Good start for Madison in this match. Ashburn again to Hilly. Johnson to Madison. Outside and blocked by Hilly.
Big swing by Huseman, blocked straight down by Hilly and Stelpus here. And Hilly gets the lion's share of it, you're absolutely right.
17-12 Rebels. Thompson rotating back in to serve. Back set ball hit wide by Orr. Missed a couple of times trying to hit that same shot.
Yeah, that must be in the scouting report that the right sideline is open. That's where Orr's trying to take this ball and misses again.
Serve is long by Thompson.
Thompson just misses, not by much.
18-13. Hands are in for her now. Good decision by Madison to let it go as Orr serves. Ashburn back to Schmidt. Offhand. Madison keeps it alive. Over by Wong, kept up in the air, and then over by Champlin Park. Or back, knocked across by Huseman, and a point for Eagan.
Kaylin Madison bleeding after she dove for that last ball. We'll go off the block here from Wong. Big play by Madison.
Ashburn setting up Stelpus, and Wildcats can't run that one down. And Madison's still looking at her hand. I think she did take.
Yeah.
Scraped her knuckles a little bit, not diving for that last ball 1 point ago. 19-14, Champlin Park. Schmidt to serve. Long.
Schmidt missing deep six there. Not her best effort on the serve there. Typically, she makes a better contact than that one.
Miller serves. Ashburn outside. Stelpus, wild swing long, and now Eagan's back to within 3.
Uncharacteristic Stelpus swing there. She doesn't miss-hit many.
Ashburn to Stelpus. Just wide there.
Goes right onto the sideline. Stelpus doesn't miss-hit many. She misses one and then peppers that one down into the cross court.
Caught the line.
Sure enough.
20-16. Weimer Scourge serve. Back row taken by Miller. Wong attacks. Dug up back row. Here we go to Stelpus. Floats it over. Or back. Good dig by Panzer. Battle at the net. Weimer Scourge trying to set up Stelpus. He gets another one down. Back-to-back kills for the junior. After she had missed one, connects on the last 2.
Nice big swing, and we'll get another timeout. Let's take a look at this cross-court swing. Huseman late to get across, her hands behind her head as the ball is contacted by Stelpus, and Stelpus ripping another big swing cross-court for another kill. Hall of Fame coach Kathy Gillen right now trying to get everybody under control. 26th season, 15th state appearance. She coached for a big stint and then came back for a single year and then has been back 6 years straight. And amazingly, those are the 6 years that Eagan has been in the state championship game. I remember we were doing their semifinal match 3 years ago when Orr was a 7th grader, and at 24-23, Eagan was up in set 4. Gillen called a timeout and pulled Kennedy Orr away from the rest of the team in front of this type of crowd and gave her very simple instructions. I asked her about it about a month later. I said, Gillen, what did she talk to Kennedy about? He goes, I asked her if she put sugar on her cereal that morning, because volleyball wasn't what that kid needed to be thinking about. And that's how you end up in the Hall of Fame, being able to read your athletes like that.
Champlin Park up by 5 as Eagan had gotten as close as 3. Or outside, Wong pounding it, but again, well played back row, the time by Schmitz to help us across. Or back set, floated over by Rude at the net. Or will set again. Then a swing and a kill for Peyton Rude. Senior.
The senior right side hitter, not a all-conference player, not the type of kid that you're going to game plan against, but Kathy Gillen able to game plan against what other teams give her, and that seems to be the matchup they're going after.
Huseman serving. Here's Clark. Or all the way over to Wong off the tape. Stelpus gets blocked, and Weimersker can't save it. Another point for Eagan. Again, it's a 3-point score, 21-18.
Wong and Mo able to, or excuse me, Rude and Mo able to get their hands all the way across and get that block.
Spring to Clark and down.
Clark finding the 1-6 seam there, knowing that Huseman's in the back court, meaning that will be open, and it is.
Stelpus serving. Here's Orr. Loaded across by Mo. Back it goes, and the attack and kill for Praski. Had a block early in this set, gets a big point here.
Big swing on the slide there as she gets the one-on-one and cuts it in between Orr and Madison.
Stelpus, line drive serve, Orr outside. Rude, it's long, and it is set point.
Set point here. Eagan looking a little uncomfortable. The Wildcats not used to being in this position.
Or back to Wong. Dug up by Schmidt. Ashburn. Clark. Or back to Rude. Gets blocked. Or digs that up. Madison up in the air. Back to Wong. Gets blocked. And set one goes to Champlin Park. 25-18.
Big swings on both sides of the net, but the blocking presence of Champlin Park felt by the Eagan Wildcats. We'll take a look at this point here. Madison handling the ball. It's at 12 feet. That's not going to get it done. Wong has to roll it across. Easy dig there for Schmidt. Ashburn to Clark, who picks the roll. Wong equal to the task. We go back to Rude. Block, cover by Orr. Madison with the high outside bump set and into the big hands of Ashburn. See the reaction there from Champlin Park. John Yunker just writing notes to himself. Everybody else really excited that they won that set.
We'll take time out. We'll come back. More of the State Class 3A Volleyball Championship on CCX after this.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Oh, look at the rain. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. Yeah, we're getting so wet.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Champlin Park wins set one, 25-18 over Eagan. A lot of these teams get to today's championship match. Eagan defeating Stillwater in 4 sets. They were in trouble in a couple of those sets, but came back and won, showing that championship medal in the end in defeating the Ponies to get to today. Champlin Park, after the quarterfinal win against Moorhead, got a semifinal matchup against Lakeville South. Lost the first set, but then came back, Andy, and won the last 3.
Yeah, the Eagan match was closer than most people expected. The Champlin Park match, when Lakeville South is running, they're a tough team to compete with, but in 2, 3, and 4, it was Champlin Park serving that got Lakeville South uncomfortable, and a little bit of predictability from South as well in their offense.
If you look at the bracket, Lakeville South went on. They did win 3rd place earlier today here against Stillwater.
Yeah, it's been a great tournament. Lots of close matches, big competitive finals. As we look at the stats from set 1, Eagan hit negative. Great blocking and defense from Champlin Park, leading to a lot of that.
Clark misses on her first attack, and Eagan has its first lead of the day. Never could quite recover from that very quick 5-0 start that Champlin Park had.
Absolutely. Big hitters for Champlin Park in set 1. Jordan Stelp is hitting 300 with 5 kills on 10 swings, and everybody else doing what they normally do. Schmidt with 5 kills, but also with 4 errors, and Lauren Clark hitting a solid 0, 2 kills, 2 errors on 11 swings.
Krasky missed on her attack, and then a service error here gives Champlin Park its first point. So a little slow start here on the first 3 points of set 2. Clark at the net, and a point for Champlin Park.
Yeah, Clark controlling that overpass, throwing it back into Johnson.
Ashburn serves, brought up by Madison. Back set, swing by Rood off of Stelpus, but wide.
Yeah, nice swing again on the backside for, excuse me, Peyton Rood.
Amador Ann will serve here for Eagan. Ashburn back to Lauren Clark, off hands, the back row. Johnson will set it across, swing there by Juergens, handled by the Rebels, and pounding it down is Krasky for the kill.
Krasky, big swing towards Johnson, who gets her hands up late, goes off her hands and out of bounds. We'll take another look here. Great find, good work in transition. Krasky, nicely done.
Clark serves, and out. 4-3 Eagan.
Lead here back to Eagan as they're up 4-3, and Weimerskirch will come back into the game. We haven't called her name much in set 1. Look for her to get a little bit more involved, and they go right at her on cue.
Ashburn to Schmidt. Almost a collision there for Eagan, or attacking. Ashburn to Hilly. Champlin Park ties it up.
Early call from the 6th man as that ball was getting passed up. I heard an uh-oh. They knew Hilly was coming through on the swing, and she does. Big swing here, hanging 2-ball in the middle. Blocked from Eagan up late.
Thompson serves, just grazes the net. Hughesman pounds it, Weimerskirch. The rubber player in the net.
Schmidt trying to get across and slow Hughesman down, and not able to keep her hands out of the net, expecting that ball to come at her a little bit with a little bit more pace.
Hands are in. As Orr goes back to serve. Right at Schmidt. Ashburn back to Schmidt. Right up by Madison. Orr. Cross. Contact called on the Orr there. So we keep trading points here, 5-5. Early in set 2. Cross, off Schmidt and out. And a kill for Wong.
Wong coming through that ball. Ashburn funneling it cross court, and Schmidt not getting her hands up on it in time. Oh, it went off of the block, and that's why it redirected a little bit. Schmidt leading the Rebels with 7 digs in set 1.
Stelpus ties it at 6.
Stelpus just so fast. She gets off the ground so well. 1 speed for her. We'll take a look. She gets a nice long runway, goes through the block and out of bounds here.
And an ace serve for Weimer-Skirch.
Weimer-Skirch attacking, I believe, was that Miller she went after here? Yeah, kind of hits the Miller-Madison seam, and Miller late step for the ace.
Allstate Libero serves again. Back it goes, and Huseman gets the kill. 7-7.
Huseman, one of those athletes that you'll notice every time she gets a kill, the first thing she does is thanks her setter for a great ball, as Orr puts that one on a tee through the block and in the seam.
Ellie Huseman serve. Schmidt up to Ashburn to Clark. Blocked back, and a point for Eagan. A good block by Peyton Rude.
Peyton Rude and Abby Moe closing on that one, and it is a huge block of Lauren Clark. Look for her to respond here.
Ashburn back. Stelpus got to float that one across. Or back. Rude again, dug up by Panzer. Stelpus over the blockers. Whistle violation on Eagan.
Yeah, quick whistle there from Phil Rendina as Miller barely touches the ball, and he already knows it's going to be a double.
Stelpus serves. Or back off the net and too long on that attack by Rude.
Rude not able to find the edge of the court, looking for hands maybe. She didn't finish her swing. It looked really uncomfortable.
Rebels lead 9-8. Back set pounded by Wong. Good dig up back row. Ashburn able to get it across. Madison up in the air to Wong. Weimer-Skirch gets hands on that. Go to Clark, who floats it across. Or for Wong. And a kill for Wong.
Long big swing there into the cross court. The junior outside hitter, not a sizable option, but she just has a cannon, and she brings that one into the cross court.
9-9. Float serve handled by Stelpus. Ashburn across. Clark off the blockers. Madison digs it up. Hit away off Schmidt. Kill for Moa.
Abby Moe, really nice attack in transition there. I love the fact that Rude took on Clark one-on-one, and here we see the transition finish from Moe.
Ashburn to Clark and across. The Orr gets blocked, but out. Point for Eagan.
Prasky lined her up quite well, just didn't keep her hands turned in, and now it is a 2-point lead for the Eagan Wildcats, their biggest lead of the match.
Yeah. Clark floating it across. Madison Orr down for a point, and Eagan leads by 3.
That's a Big Ten play right there, as Orr going high and cutting cross. Take a look at this shot here off Madison's bump set, and ooh, by about 4 inches. That's a great shot. Now we get the short serve to take the middle out.
Ashburn to Clark. Champlin Clark gets a point to end the mini run for Eagan.
That serve did exactly what it was supposed to do. They knew that Prasky was going to go on the slide. They take her out, and there's one option. Clark knows it, everybody on Eagan knows it, and Clark still gets the point.
Back set, Clark Blocking Rude.
Just like that, Champlin Park back within one as Clark playing two big points in a row.
Ashburn named Player of the Year this week, serves for Champlin Park. Eagan's got to scramble a little bit. Madison gets it across. Ashburn back to Schmidt for a kill. Tied at 12.
Schmidt all sorts of downhill on that swing as that ball put on a tee by Ashburn. Let's take a look. Or chasing it late. Madison not able to get stopped and turned, and she digs that one almost into the fan section.
Outside they go to Orr. Blocked. Dig on that ball. Ashburn back to Schmidt. Floating it across. Rebels with a 4-point run, lead by 1.
Yeah, great spot there, Otis system, and the ball gets tipped across the block, across the net, and Madison not able to make a play.
Outside Orr blocked, but Ashburn's there. Weimer-Skirch will set up Clark. Little dump, Weimer-Skirch, Ashburn keeps it up and over by Stelpus. Back set, Rude across, Ashburn with a dig. Weimer-Skirch and over by Schmidt. Johnson setting up Orr off the antenna, playing Champlin Park. A couple of great defensive plays on this side of the net, Andy, for the Rebels.
Yeah, really good, great defensive effort here. We'll take a look at this swing and a quick push across. Going to get a free ball. We'll go back to live volleyball. Maybe catch that one a little later.
Ashburn out to Park. Double contact call on Eagan. And all of a sudden it's 15-12 and a timeout by Kathy Gillen. 6-0 run here for Champlin Park.
Yeah, after the 4-point run for Eagan, Champlin responds with 6 of their own. Everything that had been working earlier in the set for Eagan now starting to fall apart as the Eagan Wildcats attack, not able to take advantage of holes in the block. They're getting a little late on their swing, and the defensive effort from the Rebels really the difference right now.
To 15-12, Champlin Park has to be one set, 25-18. As you look at their state tournament appearances, they also had one back in 2001, but since John Younger's been head coach, he's had 5 in consecutive seasons, runner-up 2 years ago, and all of the seasons, they've won at least 2 matches. All of those tournaments, they won at least 2 matches in the state tournament. They'd like to win 3 today,
yeah,
Andy.
Yeah, it's one of those. I was talking with one of the coaches that won the consolation round. I said, yeah, we're one of 9 teams that ends on a win. You'd like to end on a winning streak, though, right, if you have the choice.
So out of the timeout, see what Eagan can come back with, and they get it to Rude. Ends that 6-0 run for Champlin Park.
Rude, who's had the answer every time they've given her the ball. Yep. Really nice job by the senior opposite.
Amador serving. Weimer-Skirch to Ashburn. Goes to Schmidt. Floats it across. Handled by Juergens. Goes back to Juergens. Ashburn at the net. Sets up Praske on a tee.
Really nice swing there from Praske. Juergens, who's been very good earlier in the tournament, not able to get much past the Champlin Park block. Here we see this transition, again, jump set by Ashburn, and Praske able to hit where she wants.
Clark serving toward the sideline, but played there, or off Clark. Ashburn will dump it over, kept up Johnson, and then Madison. Great play by Eagan. Go back to the middle of the Hilly. Wildcats, or will tip it over. Clark, Ashburn will set up Schmidt, and there's a kill for Champlin Park.
Big swing, everything happening on the antenna away from us. Clark with a big pickup. We go across, easy play from Eagan, and now the ender as Schmidt goes around the big hands of Orr.
17-13 Rebels. Trail by 3 at 12-9, but they've gone on a nice run since then. Outscoring Eagan 8-1. was going to say an 8-2, but not yet. Schmidt going to keep this rally going for Champlin Park. Handled back row on the attack. Prasky off hands and down. And that's a 9-1 run.
9-1 run. We've called Prasky's name 4 times in this run here. That's the beauty of this Champlin Park team. They can go anywhere and find points.
Park serves. That'll be nicely saved by Orr and over by Madison. Ashburn outside to Schmidt. Not touched. And a point for Eagan.
Looking for hands and missing.
18-14. These fans are getting into it. Ashburn outside to Schmidt. Missed again.
No touch is the call. That
Ashburn goes to the middle this time. Schmidt, and that one gets to the floor.
Finally ending the run for Eagan, and Champlin Park will take another look here. Little hanging ball into the middle, and Madison going to the floor early. Johnson not able to get a second touch.
Thompson serves. Ball to the middle, hit across, and the kill. And almost took out Andy Gugelsberg as Juergens gets the kill.
Juergens with the kill. My cat-like reflexes. I'll get out of the way if I need to. Just trying to save the monitor right now.
19-16, or the serve. Team obviously not wanting to go down in an 0-2 hole here in the state final. Schmidt floats it across for a point.
Schmidt catching Madison on her heels again and getting out of that rotation in a hurry. 2016 Rebels 5 points away from a 2-0.
Schmidt to serve, a line driver, Madison. Free ball across, Ashburn setting up Stelpus, a little too anxious there, and hits wide.
Stelpus big swing, and again, this time she just misses. I don't want to see her change her approach at all, though. She's been unloading for 3 days. It's not going to go away. Look for her to get a ball here in transition.
Lauren Miller serves and can't get it over. There's point 21 for Champlin Park.
Trailing by 3 is a tough time to put a ball into the middle of the net. Probably going at Miller here will be the Rebels. Weimer Skirch to serve.
Collision between 2 Eagan players. They do get it across, though. They'll set up Stelpus again. Or scramble to the ball, and Madison gets it deep. Weimer Skirch. Ashburn. The Stelpus push it back corner. Handled by Miller. Or back across. Rude's ball dug up. Stelpus again off Madison. Or quick set back for Rude. Good rally here. Weimer Skirch set up Stelpus again. Floats it across. Dug up by Wong. Madison over. Ashburn back. Weimer Skirch. And a point for Eagan.
Long rally going Eagan's way there, and they're back within 3. Weimer Skirch, who normally takes that second ball with her platform, decides she's got time to put her hands on it, and it mishandles.
Here's Hughesman serving. Schmidt tight to net. Ashburn wins that battle at the net, but Eagan keeps it alive. Rude will float it across. Ashburn back. Stelpus off hands. Point Champlin Park.
Stelpus gets the swing off the edge of the block as Rude and Moe not able to hold their press on the block. Timeout for Eagan as they are trailing 18-22 here in set 2. You know, it's been some great volleyball back and forth. I'm getting distracted a little bit by these student sections.
Right.
It's one of the things I write about every year when I put something out on any of the social media platforms I'm using, just how exciting it is to watch these student sections engage. I think we're bordering on some inappropriateness if I'm hearing things the right way, but I love the fact that they're engaging each other. They're also making it about the athletes on the floor. Really good work here from Eagan and from Champlin Park. John Yunker's team really kind of narrowing what Eagan can do. They're serving tough, they're clamping on some blocks and making the unknowns for Eagan really have to deliver, and they've only done it a couple of times. Or been relatively quiet. Hughesman been very quiet. It's been a lot of Rude, a lot of Wong, as we see right here, and that's not enough right now as Champlin's able to run whatever offense they want, and we're back to live volleyball, 3 points away from a 2-0 lead for the Rebels.
Stalpa serves, just gets it over the net. Madison or chases it down. Madison over. Ashburn to Clark, down for a point.
So well disguised. Clark, who normally hits with the hammer, draws big on that one and then drops her hand and tips that ball over the net and around the block.
Stalpa's really been good serving in this tournament, Andy. Here's Clark again, floats it over again, and another point. Now it's set point for Champlin Park.
24-18. They've got some room to play around a little bit here. We'll see what Stalpas brings from the service line. I'd like to see her lace one here and just go for it.
That corner off Miller. Madison over by Rude. Ashburn outside Clark. Kept alive by Eagan. Left side blocked by the Rebels. Or back set to Rude, over, they're up by Weimerskirt. Ashburn to Clark, and there is set to Champlin Park, up 2-0 on Eagan.
25-18 as it's a 2-0 lead for the Rebels going into the short intermission here. Everything falling Champlin's way. Big athletes taking big swings, and Eagan not answering the call. As we go in between sets here, let's take a look at this last portion here. Out of system ball, Rude's going to push it across, free ball opportunity, taking away the slide. Clark's got the one-on-one, dug up in the back row. We're going to go outside here. Long off the block, covered well by Mo. Back set this time, Rude overruns it a little bit, not in a great space, and this will be the ender as Clark into the floor for the second set winner. Clark in her first state tournament, definitely enjoying the moment.
25-18 again. Rebels one set win away from their first state championship. Eagan will have something to say about it when we come back in set 3. More state volleyball on CCX after this timeout.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I got some Oxy after I hurt my neck. First, I took them to feel better. Then, I just kept taking them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Back at XL Energy Center, the Class 3A Volleyball Championship for 2018. Champlin Park, the number 2 seed, leading number 1 seed Eagan, 2-0. How have the Rebels gotten it done, Andy, and what does Eagan need to do to keep this match alive?
You know, you asked me that question before the match started. I said the Rebels had to keep playing the way the Rebels had been playing thus far, and they did. 2 sets in so far as they are up 2-0 on Eagan. Champlin Park firing on all cylinders, getting all of their attackers going here in set 2. Emma Schmidt leading everybody with 10 kills. Stalpus with 7, Clark with 7, Prasky with 4, Hilly only with 1 on 6 swings. That's because the block very aware of where she is. On the other side of the net, Mo only been set twice, 1 for an error. Kennedy Orr, the Nebraska commit and probable top 5 recruit in the country in the sophomore class, 5 kills, 5 errors on 23 swings. Eagan hitting an abysmal 0-6-4 thanks to the great block, tough serve, and amazing floor defense of Champlin Park.
Well, see if the Rebels can keep up that aggressive play that's gotten them here, Andy, and they played, for the most part, pretty clean volleyball, especially compared to how they started yesterday against Lakeville South.
Absolutely. They've been playing clean. They've been playing relaxed. 1-2 errors not getting in their way like it did earlier. On the other side of the net, Eagan seems to be piling them up.
Ashburn back to Schmidt, and the return, and Madison catches the line. And a point for Eagan. How about that play by Kaylin Madison?
Kaylin Madison's mother, Roxanne, probably just excited that her daughter's alive as that ball came with pace and Madison bounces it back across.
Ball goes to Schmidt. Madison handles this, goes out to Orr. Handled back row by Stalpus. Here's Schmidt attacking again. Johnson back set to Orr. And Kennedy Orr puts Eagan ahead 2-0.
Kennedy Orr with a big swing in transition there as the sophomore finding a gap between Stalpus and Schmidt.
Rebels in scramble mode, but Ashburn gets it across. Johnson setting, and Juergens puts Eagan ahead 3-0.
Juergens hanging the Johnson hanging the 2-ball here to Juergens, and it's still a solo block. They've still got so much respect for Huseman and Orr on the pins.
Clark pushing it across. Orr to Johnson, back outside Huseman. Tip over by Prasky. Huseman hits long, and Champlin Park has its first point of set 3.
Long rally, couple athletic sets from both Ashburn and Johnson there, and Huseman not able to finish on the last one.
Clark's serve here at 3-1. Here's Kennedy Orr. Ashburn to the middle. Hilly. Madison digs that ball. Orr tight to the net, hammers it down.
Huseman in trouble, just went, wait a minute, I know who's on the other side of me, bumps the ball all the way across, not being able to see anything, and Orr goes up, no block, down for a kill. She'll go back to serve.
And into the net on the serve by Orr. Gets one back, it's 4-2. And Thompson will serve here for the Rebels.
Kennedy Orr having some struggles from the service line. That, I believe, is her second service error, and no aces for the sophomore.
And no aces yet for Eagan. 4 service errors. Champlin Park 3 aces and 4 service errors. Juergens pounds one down again. Her second kill of this set.
Talked about it in the middle of set 2. If Eagan's going to get going, the role players are going to have to go. And here we see Juergens on the 2-ball again, and she finds the corner for the second time. 5-2 Eagan as a table delay. These kids have been subbing the same exact package for the last 3 months on both sides, but the state tournament, people want to make sure they get everything right, so it slows everything down a little bit the first couple times through each set. We did have a flip. Juergens and Amador, who sat the beginning of 1 and 2, got to start here in set 3, and it's led to a 5-2 lead for for Eagan.
Long gets blocked. Good dig by Madison. Ashburn in the middle to Hilly, who gets the kill.
Hilly, nice swing there. That one in a little bit of a tempo, not the fast, like zero tempo she's used to running, so they hang her a little bit, give her a little more time to see the block and the floor, and she does.
Good serving, line driver at Madison. Orr and Wong over. Get the ball to Ashburn outside, and the kill for Stalpus.
A big swing for Stalpus there. She takes it into the 1-6 seam, and off the bench will come KT Pernstein. We'll look at this ball outside. Rude gets a touch, and it's not enough as Miller not able to run it down.
Pernsteiner in the match for the first time today. Number 12 took that ball. Here's Wong. And across, got it down between Ashburn and Hilly into the floor.
Have we mentioned the fact that Ling Wong is too small to be really somebody you want to worry about, but she's just going to swing big, and she does it again, 6-4.
Ashburn will set up Stalpus across. 6-5.
Stalpus with another big swing and a score. High, outside, rolling across. Wong sucked under the block, not able to get a touch on it.
Weimer skirts, serves, and it's an ace.
Pernsteiner getting beat to her left. Definitely less comfortable passing on that side of her body is Pernsteiner. You see her kind of cross herself up here and into the corner it would have been.
Weimer skirts will go at her again. Time handles it, or getting it to Rude. Ashburn will set up Stalpus. And Champlin Park has their first lead here in set 3 at 7-6.
That's Stalpus' third kill in a row, I believe, on 3 swing opportunities. This time she goes a little off speed, and the ball has eyes into the corner.
Or back outside. Here's Ashburn setting up Clark. Last court, just missed.
Clark, a lot of real estate to work with there, and she misses it just wide. Tied up at 7s.
Kelly Johnson, the senior setter. Back row to Schmidt. Ashburn back. Set up Stalpus one more time, and Orr able to keep it alive. But then to kill, they'll go to Stalpus on the other side. Madison will set up Orr. Off hands and a point for Eagan. They're back in front.
Or with that intentional tool, she waits and on the way down drops an elbow and hits the ball up into the block here. It's a great looking swing. And Clark gets the touch, and Schmidt not able to get a second one.
Ashburn back, pushed in. Egan's into the net. Orr.
Net violation as Orr wanting to reach for it. And I believe, is that going to go to a kill for Praski or Stalpus again?
Yeah. Stalpus will go back to serve here. Praski in the front row again, and we are tied at 8. Here's Orr. Big swing for Kennedy Orr for the kill.
Orr ripping that ball down the line. Nice swing, first ball side out, 9-8. Eagan. That's her changeup is the call, and Orr late on the block were the Rebels.
9-8, Amador serves. Ashburn to Clark. Whoever's calling uh-oh behind us has been right about every time. They don't call it every single swing, but that's the attack on the kill this time for Clark, and it's 9-9.
Deep 5 seems to be wide open, and Champlin exploiting it.
Johnson setting outside, Jurgens bowling. Rebels hit the antenna on the block, point for Eagan.
Jurgens with 3 kills here in this set of Eagan's 10 points. They're really starting to find her a little bit more often, and she's responding.
Madison's serve just dives over. Weimer skirts, got it to Ashburn. Late to the ball into ace serve. The first for Eagan in the match. 11-9 Wildcats.
Weimerskirch not rattled often. It's great effort here from Ashburn to lay out and try and get another touch on it, but not high enough or at anybody.
Ashburn to Schmidt, blocked. Weimerskirch, Ashburn will go back this time to Clark, who gets blocked. Huseman gets up, along with Juergens, big 6'3" senior Huseman. We'll get credit for the block, and it's 12-9.
Great discipline here as Juergens doesn't leave early, chases that ball down, and Hearn Huseman close on the block.
Schmidt attacks off Madison and out of play.
Madison, for the first time today, not equal to the task on the dig. That's the first ball she's touched that hasn't been touched by at least one more Eagan Wildcat players. Really impressed with the junior libero today.
It's been outstanding for Eagan. They'll serve at her. Ball by Juergens, down for a point.
Surprise, surprise, Christine Juergens yet again. A setter for most of her career, but at Eagan, you just kind of do whatever Kathy asks you to do, and Juergens, yes ma'am, has played middle for most of the year here for the Wildcats.
Or it serves. Stelpus, Ashburn, over by Schmidt. Or picks that ball up. Over by Wong. Outside to Schmidt. Off the antenna, another point for Eagan, and their lead has grown to 4 here at 14-10.
Schmidt, there's a blocking switch there, is now Huseman, who's been in the middle and on the left most of the year, going out on the right to block Schmidt, and Schmidt a little bit confused by it.
Ashburn to Schmidt, tip back by Huseman. Ashburn in the middle, Hilly over the blockers, but Orr's there, and on the overpass, Hilly easily tapping that one to the floor.
Ball hanging at the net. Juergens waiting for somebody to come in and set it. Everybody on Eagan's side thought that ball was going to get set, but Hilly taking full advantage of the overpass and dropping it right where Wong would have been had she not been ready to hit.
Thompson serves. Right to Amador. Orr set in the middle. Juergens this time touched and kept alive by Champlin Park. Tip over by Schmidt. Eagan player in the net.
Net violation there, I believe, on Wong, the junior outside.
And it's 14-12. Orr setting back to Huseman. Ashburn in the middle to Hilly. Dug up by Orr. Back it goes to Wong. And down for a kill.
Wong's older sister, Ann, played in that state championship match a couple years ago. Ling, very same mannerisms as her older sister. Not known for her attacking prowess, but will not make an error. Does a great job there. Actually, this year switched over to her sister's jersey number. That's how much respect the family has.
Pernsteiner serving for Eagan, long. 15-13.
Pernsteiner, who hasn't seen much playing time this year, in this set here and goes back to serve and just misses it. Look for them to attack her here with the serve as well.
Schmidt serve, back row handled by Madison. Or not to it, and over. Big attack and swing by Stelpus, run down and over by Madison. Hands her to Ashburn, quickly to Hilly.
Hilly, who was quiet in the first 2 sets here, kind of coming alive in set 3 as the middle blocker turn attacker in transition, doing the work and getting paid.
Schmidt serves, trying to tie it up. Wong gets blocked, and it's 15-all.
Delay on the block from the Champlin Park Rebels, leading to the first time that Wong has been stopped here in this match. Great delay from the Rebels as Hilly and Ashburn shut the door.
Schmidt over. Orr. Back to Huseman. Nice dig up On that ball by Panzer. Here's Stalpus, can't get it across. Point for Eagan.
Stalpus misfires as the block gets in her way and she tries to cut around it. Eagan back in front, 16-15.
Huseman serve. Schmidt to Ashburn, to Killian over. Back it goes to Rude. Nicely dug up by Schmidt. Overpass and Ashburn there to make the block on Moe. Long, that ball dug up by Panzer. Stalpus over. Long to Orr. Back to Rude. Great point for Champlin Park, Andy.
Long rally, couple big blocks there. I love the fact that Ashburn able to recognize the ball going over, turns, finds. Great cover there again, and we'll see the end of the rally as Rude overruns it, and Hilly shuts the door.
Weimerskirt serves, line driver, and it's an ace.
Ace off Wong there. Not a normal serve receiver, not comfortable in this space very often, and it goes to her right and she misplays it.
Or dump it over. Great dive on that ball by Schmidt. Or back to Rude and down.
Rude that time waits a little bit longer, keeps the ball in front of her, and is able to swing through the ball for a kill, and we're knotted up at 17.
Clark, and didn't get across.
Did.
Oh, did.
Touch off the block,
okay.
And it's a point for the Rebels.
Touched by Eagan. Watch it skim across the net here. Yeah.
Yep.
And out of bounds.
Yep.
Outside Orr. Too much power there.
She hit that ball and immediately smiled at Kelly Johnson. Hey, I'm looking for something there. Big swing, everybody relaxed. Maybe time for a little less relaxation on the Eagan side right now as they're about to get swept the way things are going right now.
And this one, though, getting down. Moe getting a much-needed point for the Wildcats.
Wildcats back within one. Juergens, who's had a great set three, back into the front court, and Amador to serve.
Ashburn to Lauren Clark. Back row Amador doesn't get to the net, but dug up by Orr. Madison will float it across. Ashburn to Lauren Clark again. 20-18.
Clark just too good down the stretch here. She unloads on another one, and it'll be a timeout for Kathy Gillen. 20-18. Champlin Park up here in set three. 5 points away from not only the first volleyball state title, but the first state title for the entire school. A lot of pressure here. Clark living for it. Big swing. Amador digs it. Nice, calm play by Orr. Pushed across by Madison. This ball on a tee, and she's not going to miss twice. Big swing outside the block of Orr and inside the middle back defender. That's a heck of an angle right there for the Penn State commit.
Rebels fans excited. Rebels team. And if you're John Yunker, you need this coaching cast, Coach Axness, how do they calm their girls down? We haven't won anything yet.
Right.
You know, we're up, but it looks good, but...
It's about one touch at a time. It's about remembering the game plan. When it's 24 whatever, you don't get to suddenly go rogue and do your own thing. There's a reason. We got together in August. We put this date on our calendar. Our goal for the season has been to win a state title. You don't take your foot off the accelerator. You don't unfocus until that last ball hits the floor.
Ashburn to serve. Johnson to the middle, over, and not returned by Champlin Park. Eagan out of the timeout, gets a point.
Big swing from Juergens yet again. Back within one are the Wildcats.
Madison back to serve, just got it across. Ashburn to Schmidt, blocked by Huseman.
Block switch there from Coach Gillen as she swung Orr to the left and Huseman to the right, paying dividends early. 20-20.
Race to 5, right?
Love it, love it. That's why. Best seat in the house, race to 5. Couldn't be happier.
Ashburn to Clark. Amador back row. Here's Johnson setting up. Jurgens kept alive by the Rebels, over by Weimerskirt. Jurgens again, floats it over for a point. 21-20 Wildcats, a run of 3 in a row for them.
Top 100 recruit, Ellie Huseman on the right side. Let's take a look at this point, and then we'll get to that. Jurgens, big tip, and Weimerskirt watches it hit the ground. Ellie Huseman in the front row right now, University of Minnesota commit, top 100 prepvolleyball.com recruit. Across the court from her, Kennedy Orr, top 5 recruit in the sophomore class going to Nebraska. And Johnson, twice in a row, goes to Christine Jurgens. Who? Exactly, according to people around the country, people that have been watching this team for a few years, know Jurgens, just calm, collected, and a great teammate. Look for her. She's so smart. She's so aware of the situation, knowing she doesn't need to take the big swing. She just needs to make sure this ball finds the blue court, and she does it again. That might be her 6th kill of this set. She has been the horse for Eagan here in set 3.
Now Wildcats will see if they can close this out and extend this match to at least a 4th set. Madison serves. Ashburn for Clark. Madison back for Orr. And another point for Eagan. It's 22-20 Wildcats.
Orr delaying her swing again, hitting on the way down, and this time with some heavy topspin, and Stalpus can't quite handle it.
Stalpus for Ashburn. Goes to Schmidt, blocked it out. Off the antenna on the block. Much needed Rebels point, the end the run of 4 for Eagan.
Back to serve is Clark, who's been on a run a couple times here. We'll see what she's got this time.
Johnson to Huseman, pounds that ball, nicely dug up by Clark. Schmidt's got to get it over and does. Jurgens, handled by Clark, over by Schmidt. Johnson setting up Jurgens again. Schmidt to Ashburn. Go to Hilly in the middle. Over by Huseman. Good defense by both teams on this rally. Punched over by Schmidt. Johnson outside to Orr. Decides, I'm going to end it right here.
Wow. Great rally. The layout by Amador. Huseman heads up knowing that Johnson not going to get there. Just throws it across to reset the play. A little bit later in the rally here, we see why Orr is Orr. Big swing. Praske thinking that ball might be out of bounds, but the heavy topspin drops it in.
Orr serving. Schmidt misses, and it's set point for Eagan.
Schmidt, big swing there. Huseman late on the block, and as a result, no touch. Going to get a timeout here from John Junker. His team down 21-24. Wildcats look to be dead after 2. Came alive here in set 3. Take a look at this big last point here. Nice ball onto the outside. Huseman, like I said, laid across. Schmidt just too high on the block, and it is, yeah, that one's going to be a little wide, but I love the swing intensity from Schmidt on the outside. 21-24. John Junker calling his timeout late here, in my opinion. I would have called it at 23, but I'm not playing in the state championship match for the 2nd time, so we'll default to Junker and his expertise. Look for, we got Schmidt on the outside here, or did they spin it? No, it looks like we're going to have Schmidt in the 5, serve receiving, Hilly in the middle, and Praske on the right.
24-21, Eagan. They're going to win set 3. A good rally late by the Wildcats. Schmidt over. Madison back to Wong. Ashburn trying to jump it over, can't, and set 3 goes to Eagan. 25-21.
Ashburn, who's been so calm the entire tournament, the entire season. Honestly, the last 2-3 years running the show for the Rebels, got rattled there late, really frustrated with her play on the last touch of the game. Pass is good. We go outside, tipped up, or reads it. Madison with her 7th or 8th bump set to the outside in a very short amount of time. Open was the dump, and Ashburn saw it there but didn't get the ball across the net, and it is a 2-1 lead for the Rebels.
And we continue. More volleyball from the Class 3A state championship match at XL Energy Center on CCX after this timeout.
I try to keep up with what these young people is doing and knowing.
I was at work and I just got a text from a number that I didn't know.
I sent him a text. He texts me back and say, "Who dis?" And I just thought that was the funniest thing.
The next few weeks, you just made fun of me, like would answer the door and say, "Who dis?"
Who dis?
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at AmericaLet'sDoLunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
I've been delivering Meals on Wheels to Leon for 13 years.
It's always a pleasure to see you.
Leon has definitely inspired me to put more into my relationships. He really cared for his wife, who was ailing for quite a while, in such a touching way that inspired me to be a better person.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at AmericaLet'sDoLunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
Well, just some of the fun we've seen in the first 70 minutes here as Champlin Park leads 2-1, but Eagan coming back. Andy Gugesberg closing set 3 on a 7-1 run and extend us to at least a 4th set.
Yeah, the big key right there for this 3rd set was Christine Jurgens, who had 6 kills on 10 swings in set 3 alone, and Kennedy Orr, who was a 5-5-23 after 3 sets, goes on for 6 kills and 1 error in 10 swings there in set 3. The sophomore woken up, doing a really nice job. On the other side, Schmidt with 4 errors and 3 kills in the 3rd set, not playing her best volleyball. We'll see if she can reset and get after it here in set 4.
So Champlin Park will try to settle down after being outscored late in that 3rd set. Eagan showing that state tournament championship game experience, 6th year in a row that Eagan has been here.
She's a freshman. I got to coach Samara
before we started.
Right, Samara Amador served before the whistle came. The freshman real excited to be in a set 4 here in the championship.
Ashburn to Clark.
Clark finds the edge for the first point.
Izzy Ashburn headed to Wisconsin next year, serving for Champlin Park. Block on Jurgens' ball. Ashburn goes to Schmidt and block. Jurgens and Orr get up for it, and we're tied at 1.
Jurgens just playing with a little different eyes right now. She's got that passion in her eyes right now. Eyes across the net, ready to block here.
Back for Clark. Orr across, handled by Schmidt. Ashburn. Clark again. Handled back row by Johnson. Orr swings and down for a point.
Big swing from Orr as that ball maybe caught the back line. At least that's what our line judge thinks. We'll take a look here. Ball is swung. Oh no. That ball missed by a tile, and these
Looks
are
like
18-inch tiles.
Schmidt throws it back row, handled by Amador, over by Orr. Schmidt blocked, Clark digs it up, and can't get it to a teammate though, and it's a point for Eagan.
3-1 lead early here as the tool by Clark early, the only point, and it's a 3-0 run.
Ashburn to Clark, gets this one.
Or losing the 6'2" Penn State recruit, not knowing where she was as she goes up with no block there. That's going to end poorly for Eagan every time.
Rebels fans trying to get their team fired up here. Huseman, Clark, dig, Ashburn back to the middle of the court, over by Lauren Clark. In the middle, Juergens, Stalpus gets a hand on it, but that's all she can do with it. And another kill for Christine Juergens to make it 4-2 Eagan.
Juergens really having a nice match here in the second half. Stalpus with a touch on that ball, and Champlin not making a second move. Very uncharacteristic for the Rebels.
Ashburn back to Praski, over. Or to Wong, misses.
We have a touch. Rendino looking it off. Nope, no look at the touch.
Kathy Gillen can't believe it.
That might have caught the top of the block there, but Phil Rendina not even looking for it. Take another look here. Great at camera work as per always. Do we get it? Yep, the left index finger of the block of, I believe that was Stalpus, or excuse me, Praski.
Thompson, good serve, and an ace. Tied at 4.
Serving specialist Thompson really coming through in the clutch there.
Another good serve handled by Wong. She'll get the set from Orr. Now it's Ashburn setting up Schmidt on the other side. Crawls through the block and down.
Juergens reaching outside her body there and not staying it cross, leaving a lot of opening for Schmidt to swing.
Thompson, line drive serve. Wong over, handled by Thompson. Ashburn back. Schmidt, a little, she messed her footsteps there, or what happened?
I think she wanted a higher ball. She wasn't quite ready for the tempo that Ashburn delivered, and Ashburn looked over to Schmidt and said, whoop, that's on me. We'll get that ball higher. Now they're still communicating on how they're going to get out of this serve receive here in a hurry.
Pans are in for Thompson. Bernsteiner serving. Front row tipped over by Stalpus. Madison back for Wong. And out. Point Champlin Park.
Rebels not quite sure who's even in the front row right now, as they had 4 blockers up for most of that point.
(6-5) Champlin Park with Schmidt serving. Or to Wong. Pounds it home for a point.
Big swing from Wong there on the first ball, side out opportunity. Madison dime off the net, or big swing cross court from Wong.
Holzer, Weimer skirts Ashburn. Oh, and pounded by Stalpus there.
Stalpus just, she is a lunchbox kid. Like, you watch her play the game and she just looks like she's going to punch in, do her work, and go home. Playing with such passion right now.
Weimer skirts serves. Is Orr. Back set to Wong.
Oh. Delay call from the line judge there on a big swing and block. call was the ball went off the block and out of bounds. Point for Eagan. Take a look here, see if we can see it on our side, or might have screened that one.
Clark over. Ball the middle, tipped over by Mo. Weimer Skirch picks that up. Back to Stelpus. Delivers another kill.
Stelpus hitting with pace and playing with passion. Really, really all about the junior right now. Great ball from Ashburn, cross court, and middle back defender. Oh, I believe, yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. She saw a seam in the block, wasn't in position to make the play.
Ashburn to Clark. Johnson back over by Rude. Ashburn runs this ball down. Schmidt's got to run, and just does get it over the net. Back to Kennedy Orr, and this time puts it away.
Orr, calm throughout the rally, does a great job finishing that one late in the rally. Big swing from her as she goes inside the block. Juergens back into the match. Amador back to serve.
Ashburn, Praski over. Back to Orr. Another point for Orr and the Wildcats. And they lead 9-8.
9-8 as that ball trickles in between Ashburn and Praski. Not a cross very well here. Orr, great work in transition. And there you see it, the block not quite closed and Orr finding the gap.
Ashburn to Clark. Offhand. Oh, what a layout on that ball by Johnson. And Orr drops it in.
10-8 set 4. Mark it down. If Eagan wins this, that's the point that turned it. Great layout, and then the off speed, and Clark watches it hit the floor.
Amador, though, gives the point back on a serving error.
The freshman gets the wind sucked out of Eagan on a missed serve there.
Ashburn serving. Johnson, ball to the middle, over by Juergens, and again, the Rebels, for the second time in 3 points, watch it fall to the floor.
John Yunker, frustrated at Lauren Clark, just screamed, "Lauren, play some defense." We'll see how she responds here.
Ashburn to Schmidt, that's long.
No touch as Schmidt uncorking on a ball, looking for the top of the Eagan Wildcat block. Let's take a look here, see if she found it. Maybe.
Ashburn back to Clark. And this one off Johnson's hand and out. Much needed point for the Rebels. It's 12-10.
Ashburn talking to Clark all the way back here. Great pass here, back set. Eagan's block looking at the ball instead of the Penn State commit, and she beats one past him.
Juergens. Clark takes that ball up. There's Ashburn to Praski. Long. And hitting errors and just errors in general for Champlin Park here in this middle of the set.
Yeah. One of the conversations across the country right now is eliminating the double contact. We've had some questionable sets that have led to errors on the attack, so I'm all on board with just getting rid of the call. And wow, Weimer Skirch, great vision from the bro as she takes the third contact and rolls it into the 1-2 seam where no Eagan defender is. Just great shot. Amador out of position. Huseman already out, ready to take her swing. Nice job.
Thompson had an ace last time, so this one tough to Wong, or deep off Ashburn, and then Thompson unable to scramble back into position to get a play on it. Great play by Kennedy Orr.
Kennedy Orr in her 4th state title game, really playing like a veteran there as she catches the Champlin Park defense kind of mid-transition.
Off of Schmidt, Panzer knocks it there, runs it down, Stelpus across. Or across for Wong, gets blocked, nice led by Schmidt. Or again, and Huseman gets blocked.
Schmidt's in a space right now. Look for the senior back at the service line. It's feast time, I believe. It's a quick set. Huseman not in position to make a great play on it. And Schmidt with the block. She'll go back to serve.
Schmidt serves off Madison. Ashburn trying to dump it over. Schmidt keeps it alive. Stalpus back row to Madison to Orr. Back. Swing by Rude. Off Panzers. Great job by Schmidt and over by Weimerskirch. Orr to Wong. Big point, Champlin Park.
Rebels within one on the big swing from Wong, looking for hands and missing. Good location so far from both setters. We're seeing two that will be in the Big Ten soon. Dishing rocks everywhere.
Schmidt serves. Great dig by Weimerskirch and over by Schmidt after the big attack. Another swing and a block. Hilly and Stelpus block Huseman.
Hilly Stelpus, the juniors in a senior-laden lineup, just closed the door here on Huseman. That's a monster block.
Stelpus got all of that one. We are tied at 14. Well, Schmidt gives it back. 15-14 Eagan.
Schmidt, big work at the service line, gets a couple to tie it up, but then misses the opportunity to take the lead.
Ashburn setting up Stelpus and tight to the net, but over. Nice play by Orr. Here's Hilly attacking.
Hilly in trans is one of the most beautiful things to watch in 3A volleyball. The kid just does the work. Really nice job. 6 hands in front of her here, and she just bangs it through. And KT Pernsteiner in front of the 10-foot line, not able to make the play.
Weimerskirch serve. Orr, quick set. Attack, a block.
Net violation. Don't know if they called that one on Clark or on Ashburn. Either way, it's a point for the Rebels, point for the Wildcats. 16-15, Eagan on top here in set 4.
Ashburn, Stelpus, down for a point.
It's a big swing down that line for Stelpus.
That was close too.
Another big swing using all 30 feet on the other side of the court.
Johnson for Orr, pounds it, and a point for Eagan.
Orr with another big swing into the cross court. Weimerskirch gets a touch on it, but not able to corral it back into the court. Juergens and Amador back in. Juergens had a great set 3 and an okay set 4 so far. Look for Johnson to find her a lot in the middle here.
Ashburn back for Praski. 17-all.
Praski, who's been quiet this match, coming up big down the stretch here.
Ashburn back to serve. We are tied at 17. To the middle, Juergens floats it across. Schmidt, Ashburn. Praski gets blocked. Juergens with the block.
Juergens and Orr sticking around in the middle there. That's a really good looking block here. Hang it. I like the swing there by Praski. Juergens getting the lion's share of that block though.
Ashburn outside to Schmidt, had some momentum coming forward and sings that one off the hands, and we're tied at 18.
Schmidt going downhill is a great swing again. Let's take another look. Great ball. Juergens not getting across that time. Late on the read.
Clark serves. Orr down for a point. Kennedy Orr has put the Wildcats back in front.
19-18 Eagan here in set 4. Johnson coming way off the net. Orr with a lot of court to work with.
Ashburn will set outside to Schmidt again. Cross, Madison plays it. Amador up for Wong. Schmidt's hands, Ashburn back to Schmidt again off the blockers. Juergens, Orr, and Huseman can't get it over.
Another tie game here at 19 in set 4, and into the game comes Nicole Thompson, serving specialist for the Rebels.
Had an ace earlier in this set. Dives it down for her second ace.
Amador coming up short on that ball as Thompson with a laser. Bottom drops out. That's clean.
Another good serve. This one handled by Amador. Block on Huseman, but dug up by Orr. It's trying to scramble out of the way here. Weimerskirch trying to set up Stalpus. Orr to Wong, floats it across. Ashburn back, Schmidt floats it. Madison again gets to that ball. Here's Wong, putting it down. What a couple of great defensive plays on Eagan's side of the net to keep that rally alive, and then Wong finishes it.
I'm having flashbacks to 2 years ago, John. Great defensive effort on both sides of the ball. Wong coming into the cross court as the 5 still open.
20-20, same as we had in set 3. Pernsteiner serving. Handled by Schmidt. Ashburn over by Stalpus, hits the antenna. Would that serve have gone out, Andy?
That's a tough angle. It may have, but at this point in the match, if you're Schmidt, you're not going to let the ball dictate what you're going to do. I think it might have, but Schmidt's going to go ahead and play on the side of caution. You definitely, that's a 2-point one if it lands in, though.
Go at Schmidt again. Ashburn set to Schmidt down the line.
Big swing. Northern Iowa getting a gem next year, and Schmidt putting this team on her back for the last few swings. She'll go back to serve. She was good for a couple aces last time. Nice swing down the line. Wong, the smaller block, and they attack it.
21 all in set 4. Or dump. Schmidt lost her balance, fell down, and that's a point for Eagan.
That's twice we've seen Orr flat-footed out of the back row on serve receive. 4 kills. Another great spot as, yeah, Schmidt saw it, but you're right, she crossed up her own feet and not able to make the play.
Huseman serves. Oh, Weimerskirch just gets to that ball. Stalpus across. Tied at 22.
Every time I watch her swing, it's just, I fall more and more for what this kid's about. Cross court, big swing.
Weimerskirch serves. Ball to the middle. Oh, nice dig by Schmidt. Ashburn to Stalpus. Floats it across. Here's Wong pounding it, dug up by Weimerskirch. Ashburn back for Clark. Double contact on the Rebels point. Eagan.
Ashburn got ahead of herself a little bit there, trying to do too much, too little. Just make the smart set. Here is 23-22. Eagan in front, and John Yonker wants to call a timeout, make sure that everybody's on the same page with what we're doing in this rotation. As a serve-receive team, they are the ones that tend to actually be at the advantage when receiving serve. So they will get the first swing right now, Will Champlin Park. I believe they got Clark behind and Stalpus out in front. If I'm on my rotation wheel correctly, look for Stalpus on the big swing on the outside off the edge of the block. Serving for Eagan is Johnson, which means Orr just got to the front row. If they get into a transition play, or on the outside into the seam is probably the call. Kennedy Orr, who was hitting 0 after 2 sets, really come alive here in sets 3 and 4. You see the game face she's got right now, looking to take this team, Eagan, to a 5th set in the Class 3A final.
Johnson's serve, handled by Weimerskirch. Here's Ashburn. Lauren Clark. Good play by Madison again. Here's Orr. Set point, Eagan.
Another questionable ball there as Johnson with a little bit of a mishandle. We'll take a look at it. Doesn't come out exactly clean. We don't see it leave her hand there, but there's Orr taking a big swing on a bad set and still finding the point.
Schmidt tight to the net. Ashburn wins that ball. Here's Orr. Ends it. And we go to a 5th set. 25-22 Eagan. We are tied 2 sets apiece.
Great rallies throughout the entire 4th set. Down the stretch, though, Kennedy Orr kind of taking over, getting us into a set 5 as they'll get ready for the coin toss here. And Orr doing everything right on her side of the ball, got a lot of help. We'll watch this last point here. Little bit of chaos, pushed across. Rude ready to pick it up. Johnson, we're going to go outside. Clark going up, expecting a big swing. Can't move her hand fast enough. And Orr throws it down the line for set point. And we're going to go to 5 here in the 3A final.
1 more set to play in the season. Eagan and Champlin Park tied 2 sets apiece. We'll wrap it up here from St. Paul with set 5 on CCX after this timeout.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Meals on Wheels gives me a chance to be totally selfless. More than the food itself, a lot of seniors don't have family. So just to have someone to talk to, just to say, hey, how was your day? That means so much more than a meal could ever mean. We have to look outside of ourselves to be that lifeline to other people. It's worth it.
Fans on both sides on their feet as we get ready for set 5 championship match, championship set. Champlin Park and Eagan in Class 3A.
Great volleyball on both sides of the net. Kaylin Madison, the story defensively, as she has 27 of Eagan's 80 digs on the other side of the net. Emma Schmidt actually leading Champlin Park defensively with 20 digs of her team's 81. I'm having flashbacks to 2 years ago, John. Great defensive effort down the stretch. In that match, there were 4 sets played and over 200 balls dug. A little bit behind that pace here, but still great volleyball. Lauren Clark still banging away. She has 13 kills. Schmidt with 16 and Stalpus with 15.
We are underway in set 5. First to 15. Clark handled back row by Amador. Here's Orr across. Ashburn set for Clark. First point of set 5 goes to Champlin Park. If you're Rebels, you win the first 2 sets, you lose the next 2. You've got to be a little bit rattled. How do you compose things here for set 5?
You reset and you remember what you did in sets 1 and 2.
Johnson to Orr. Nice dig by Weimerskirch. Played back. They'll go back to Kennedy Orr. Again at Weimer's Skirch, who handles that. Clark floats it over. Johnson to Orr. Dug up by Clark. Ashburn. Back to Schmidt. Nice dig by Johnson. Madison to Orr. Ashburn. Schmidt will tap it over. Madison runs up on that ball. Johnson tight to the net. Juergens able to get a hand on it. Long rally here. Clark ends it. Wow, what a point.
Great rally, good defensive effort. Madison with a few digs. Weimer Skirch with a few big swings on both sides. We'll see the ender here as Clark finding Mo off the edge.
Ashburn serves. Here's Orr. Weimer Skirch, great job to get a hand on that. Ashburn got it over. We're back to Orr. And this one down.
Kennedy Orr with her first kill of this set in set 4. Hey, it happens to the best of us. Kennedy Orr in set 4, 10 kills on 15 swings and no errors in set 4 alone.
Madison. They dig up by Stelpus. Ashburn, then to Schmidt. Wow.
Schmidt swinging fearless there in between the block of Huseman and Juergens and down for a point and a 3-1 lead for Champlin. Oh, Juergens just got up late.
Here's Clark's serve. Floats it over for an ace.
Or just looking at that ball, watching it drop in front of her, and Clark with the clean ace. Great serve. Nobody moved.
Clark serving, handled by Madison this time. Johnson goes outside. Huseman off Stelpus. Clark runs it down. Stelpus over. Whistle.
She's off the floor when she made contact with the ball. It is a point for Eagan as she is not allowed to leave the court and play the ball, and that is the discussion that's going on between John Junker and our down official. Great play by Phil, great call by Phil Rendina, recognizing it's a safety issue. And after, we'll take a look at this. You see Clark sprint after this one. She's clean, but then the next touch.
Schmidt gets blocked. Ashburn. Weimer Skirch, go back to Schmidt again.
Schmidt saying, get on my back, let's do the thing. That is her, I believe, 18th kill of the match. She just uncorks on this ball. Madison expecting something with some more spin, already commits to a platform play, and it goes off her forehead.
Thompson's serve. Back to Huseman, gets blocked. And it's 6-2, Champlin Park.
Huseman in trouble, blocked again, and it'll be a timeout for Hall of Fame coach Kathy Gillen and the Eagan Wildcats. Everything falling Champlin's way. They are up 6-2 here in a decisive set 5. We'll take a look at this last point. Amador, decent pass, they go back, and the clamp, is that Hilly? It absolutely is. Statistically, that'll get a half block for her and Stelpus, but Hilly all over that ball. The junior middle blocker playing hard volleyball, not one of the glamour kids that we talk about often as far as getting the big kills and getting all the sets, but she is the hardest working kid on this Champlin Park team.
6-2 Champlin Park. Trying to continue what they've done well here in this 5th and final set. Thompson's serve. Handled. And Wong. And kept alive. Ashburn and then Schmidt. They'll set up Wong again. This time finds the court. Big point for Eagan. Ling Wong with the kill.
Ling Wong going through the seam of the block there. Big swing for the junior outside, as not able to close that time was Hilly, paying a little bit too much attention to Juergens, with good reason. Juergens having a great match in the latter half here.
Bernsteiner serves to Schmidt. Ashburn to Stalpus. Or to Wong. And that one down.
That is a big swing and a laser accuracy onto the end line there for Ling Wong.
6-4. Bernsteiner serves. Schmidt a little late to react to that ball. Stelpus over, gets tipped back. Point Eagan. 3 in a row for the Wildcats.
That is the blocking vision that Ellie Huseman uses to get herself recruited to Minnesota. Normally you watch the ball there and she's going to be on the way down. She recognizes Stelpus in a bad way and actually delays her block.
Ashburn to Stalpus. Madison, nice play on the ball. Or this will have to be over, and is by Huseman. Ashburn back to Schmidt. 7-5.
Schmidt one-on-one against Wong is going to end poorly for Eagan every time they do it. It's a free ball opportunity and just a gorgeous ball, and Schmidt able to take that ball into the one.
Blocked by Ashburn, and point for Champlin Park.
Or pushes Wong into the net, and it's an 8-5 lead for the Rebels.
Emma Schmidt back to serve. Laser just misses. What did you say the other day, Andy? Why pay for the whole chair when you can just...
Absolutely, when you just need the edge, when you just need the edge. Feast or famine, Schmidt going for it again, misses that one.
Ashburn to Stalpus. Nice dig. Or to the middle, bumped over by Bernsteiner. Ashburn to Hilly this time, and Huseman with the dig. Wong gets blocked. Ashburn and Hilly get up for it. 9-6 Rebels.
2 great defensive plays, one by Bernsteiner, one by Huseman, but eventually the net defense of Hilly and Ashburn housing Wong.
And pounded down by Moe. Haven't called her name much lately, but Abby Moe gets a big point for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Abby Moe, always working, always available. They feed her every once in a while, and it pays off there, cutting the Rebel lead to 2.
Ashburn outside to Lauren Clark. 10-7 Champlin Park.
LC getting it done there. Lauren Clark with the big hammer down the line on the first ball side out. We'll take a look here. She cranks this ball. Beautiful spot, untouched.
Good serve by Stalpus. Great dive by Johnson to get to that ball. Ashburn back, Praski. Right to the net, or gets it down. Boy, what a big point for Eagan. It looked like that was going to go down for Champlin Park. You get it up, and Orr finally finishes.
Yeah, the serve-receive ball very, very poorly handled, and eventually Orr able to take a big swing.
Amador serve. Stalpus, Ashburn. Clark. Back to the middle. Nicely played by Moe. Ashburn to Clark again. Hit back and then over. At the net, and point for Champlin Park.
Kelly Johnson with a unnecessary double contact there. Trying to do too much. Big play. Ball comes across. Johnson facing the net. Worried about the ball, worried about the contact coming over, and it will be a Rebel point on the double contact.
11-8. Ashburn back to serve. Oh, just dives it over the net for an ace.
Smiling down on the Rebels right now as the serve catches tape, and it is a 12-8 lead for Champlin Park. They are 3 points away from the first state title in school history in any sport. And right now, John Yunker trying to remind his athletes to just play 1 point at a time. Eagan, Kathy Gillen on the other side, doing what she has to calm the team down and remember that we're going to need one simple touch here. As my friend Dennis Amundsen says all the time, all you got to do is put 3 good contacts together and you'll get that side out you need. If you try and figure out anything short of that, could be problematic here for the Wildcats in their 6th straight state final appearance. They beat these Rebels a couple of years ago, and 4 of the Rebels that we see right now, Stalpus, Ashburn, Weimer, Skirch, and Schmidt were on the floor as they watched Eagan get the gold medals, trying to get their own right now.
Ashburn across, out of the timeout. Johnson setting the ball to the middle to Juergens, handled by Stalpus. Ashburn outside to Clark. Johnson, Juergens again, handled by Ashburn. Weimer Skirch up. There's Schmidt, missed.
Big swing from Schmidt there. She's trying to take over on her own, as well she should. 9-12. Madison to serve here.
Stalpus, Ashburn's got to run that ball down. Schmidt pushing it deep and long again.
Schmidt back-to-back errors from the senior outside hitter who has carried this team much of the way here in the final for sure.
Stalpus to Ashburn, back to Schmidt again. Johnson will set up Orr. 12-11, 3 in a row for Eagan.
Kennedy Orr just taking over on that swing. That is about the 7th or 8th out-of-system ball that everybody knew she was getting, and she answers with another kill. Out-of-system ball, bump set, going to go cross-court, off the block, picked up nicely by Madison. Johnson at 15 feet, one option. She goes to Orr, and Orr goes over the large block of Praske there and down into the corner for a kill. We were just talking 3 points ago about how Champlin Park just needs to take care of some small things and finish it out, and that's 2 errors by Schmidt and a big swing from Orr, and suddenly the almost dead Eagan Wildcats are 1 point away from tying this thing up in a deciding set 5. Schmidt's going to hit this ball really, really hard, John.
Yeah. Kaylin Madison serving. Her team trailing by 1 here late in set 5. Ashburn to Schmidt. You're right. Dug up though. Nicely back row. Looking back to Kennedy. Orr block. Park and Praske.
It's a switch block there as Clark, who'd been hitting left side in transition, they move her to the right and she lines up Orr perfectly. Stuff block, her and Praske close, 13-11.
Clark serves, Johnson back for Orr, pushes it down the line. Stalpus picks that up, and they go to Schmidt. Tipped by Eagan. Point, Champlin Park. It is match point for the Rebels.
Big swing for Schmidt there as she goes and cracks one off the block. Great use by the senior outside hitter. Championship point. Lauren Clark in her first state tournament appearance.
Ball tight to the net. Orr's got to get this over and does. Ashburn outside, Schmidt off hands to the middle. Madison set up Orr. Got it down. Eagan still alive at 14-12.
Kennedy Orr, another big swing in transition. The sophomore setter having a little bit of a hiccup in the service category this tournament. We'll see how she does here. She's got a lace 2 in a row.
Orr into the net, the first time ever. Champlin Park champions in volleyball.
Champlin Park Rebels win a great match in 5, 15-12. Big swings all the way across. Excitement and elation for the Rebels. Heartbreak for the Wildcats on a Heartbreaking missed serve from Kennedy Orr. The Rebels, first time in 6 appearances, they come away Class 3A champions. John Yunker's squad, senior laden with 4 Division I players, gets it done here at the X.
6 runner-up appearances in various sports for Champlin Park through the years. Twice they lost in the Prep Bowl in football, twice in boys basketball, once in baseball, once in volleyball, but not this time around. This Rebels group wins the school's first ever state championship, Eagan. Boy, showing what they're made of, though, back in the final for a 6th year in a row, down 2 sets, come back and almost pull this out.
Yeah, great volleyball. Kennedy Orr is going to play a lot of great matches in her life, and you're not going to let one missed serve be the definition, and she's frustrated with herself. The seniors bummed out for sure, as 2 years in a row, Eagan comes in as the favorite in the state championship match and falls short. Champlin Park, the excitement, the elation, those kids have been playing together year-round for a very long time.
Let's look at the last point.
Mostly for reaction purposes here. We see a good toss. That ball drops in, and immediately the dog pile, the excitement for Champlin Park. So exciting for Champlin Park. Great finish for them. Great rallies throughout the entire match. Your 2018 big class champions, the Champlin Park Rebels.
Excuse me, Carl Katzenberger talked about this when he did the section final with me, the Champlin Park Wayzata. I said, as much as club volleyball is meant to him, and big part of his life, how important high school volleyball is, and the communities and the school spirit and the dog piles like that.
Oh, it's the best part of doing any match is watching the dog pile that happens.
Right now, the all-tournament team is being named here in Class 3A. The all-tournament team, Shakopee's Rachel Kilkelly, Maddie Whittington of Stillwater, Elena Moldham from Lakeville South, Kaylin Madison, Kennedy Orr, and Ellie Huseman from Eagan, and from Champlin Park, Izzy Ashburn, Jordan Stalpus, Emma Schmidt, and Caitlin Weimer-Spurge.
All very well-deserved players. They do such a great job. There were 4 ginormous players for Champlin Park. Missing from that team is Clark, who had a great tournament as well. But you can't give one team 5. It's almost unheard of to give one team 4, and Champlin Park definitely deserving.
So today, closing out our coverage today, we're going to cover the awards and the individual medals for both teams. Andy and I will chat as we do, and then we're going to go to the post-game press conferences, which you at home never get to see, except maybe just snippets of, but they bring in the losing team first. Eagan Coach Kathy Gillen will bring in 1 or 2 of her players, and then John Yunker will bring in a couple of his players, and we'll cover all of that for you as well coming up here on CCX. Well, what a match we had, Andy, huh?
You know, it's been one of those things, and every once in a while, a team gets put together. And I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've been covering these Champlin Park Rebels with you since their first state appearance, and the Rebels. Everybody thought they were good because of Sydney Hilly. Hilly graduates, and everybody thinks, well, the cupboard's not quite bare. They'll still be okay, but that was their chance. These kids were sophomores at the time, these seniors, and a freshman at the time in Stalpus. And now, here they are. They get to raise the big banner. They get to put up the first banner in high school history. You go into other high schools. We went in and we did the section final between Armstrong and Edina. They've got 125 state championships. I don't even know where they hang them anymore. There's going to be one hanging there in the entire school, and it's this 2018 Class 3A champion, Champlin Park Rebels. Great job for the Rebels this year. Throughout the entire tournament, throughout the entire year, they've been the big team to beat, and we see them right now. One of my favorite parts of the state tournament after the championship, the runners-up will be the ones that get called first, and a handshake and a hug probably from each of the Champlin Park Rebels here.
Let's go to public address announcer Allie Kronk now for the awards presentation.
Number 3, Elise Elliott. Number 4, Lauren Miller. Five, Kaylin Madison. Six, Abigail Moe. Number 8, Kelly Johnson. Number 9, Peyton Rude. Number 10, Ling Wong. Number 12, K.T. Pernsteiner. Number 13, Delaney Forrester. 15, Christine Jurgens. And number 16, Ellie Huseman. Student manager, Grace Klunder. Assistant coach, Steve Elliott. Assistant coach, Kelly Schlegel. And head coach for the Eagan Wildcats, Kathy Gillen. And now, will the captains of the Eagan Girls Volleyball team please come forward to receive the Class 3A second place trophy. Let's give a big hand to the Eagan Girls Volleyball team. And now the 2018 Minnesota State High School Class 3A Girls Volleyball Champion, Champlin Park. Gold medals will now be presented to each member of the team. Number 1, Lauren Clark. Number 2, Sammy Hilly. Number 10, Emma Schmidt. Number 4, Nicole Thompson. Number 5, Megan Panzer. Number 6, Caitlin Weimerskirch. Number 7, Jensen Lears. Number 8, Holly Blaska. Number 9, Lindsay Roth. Number 11, Izzy Ashburn. Number 12, Hannah Presky. Number 13, Jordan Stolpez. And number 15, Maddie Kopp. Assistant coach Allison Axness. Assistant coach Natalie Thomas. And head coach for the Champlin Park Rebels, John Yunker. And now will the captains of the Champlin Park Girls Volleyball Team, first place 2018 Minnesota State High School Class 3A Championships Girls Volleyball Team, please come get your trophy. Congratulations to Champlin Park.
Well, what a day for Champlin Park Volleyball, Champlin Park Athletics, Champlin Brooklyn Park community, and an excited group of Rebels girls here to cap off a great 32-2 season with a state 3A championship.
Yeah, there's one team at the end of the year that gets to say they won the big class, and Champlin Park is that team this year. Rebels playing from behind a few different times, never got real tight, never got real tense, always stayed loose and relaxed. I mean, even after an error, they would get frustrated for a second, but those seniors especially would look around to each other and recognize this is our moment. We are going to take full advantage. As we see the photo of the state champs, Champlin Park. So exciting for this community, so exciting for John Yunker, Allison Axness, and the rest of the staff and players for the Rebels. A long time in the making. John has done a great job since he's taken over of getting down into the youth program. They're young kids. Their first, second, third graders are playing volleyball and know who John Yunker is. He does a great job supporting the community and getting everybody from his community involved in volleyball. As he puts it, it's a lot easier to play this game than it is to play the round ball, the round orange ball, and Champlin Park Volleyball bringing the first state title to the Rebels.
Congratulations to Champlin Park on a great effort today and a great season. And Eagan, man, coming back the way they did after looking out of sorts those first two sets. They are behind in set 3 and come back and win it. As you see the Champlin Park players right behind us now, getting the trophy and letting their fans congratulate them, maybe get a hand on the trophy.
So cool. Yeah, echoing what Carl said in the section final, what I've noticed with these athletes, with these situations, I've been fortunate enough to play and coach in some pretty big club matches, and nothing is anywhere near the atmosphere we have right here as Champlin Park, the athletes just taking a minute to be with their student section. The sixth man, definitely a part of the victory for the Rebels today.
Yeah, I talked to one of a parent out in the lobby as I was getting my pass for today, and of a parent of a junior, doesn't play, said, but what a great experience for her. Maybe they won't get back here next year. He might not hit the court today, but what fun it's been to be part of this group. It never gets old, does it?
It never does.
When you're on the winning side of that.
It never gets old. It never gets I don't know that annoying is the word. It's such a emotional moment right now as the entire school following this program as they're trying to get more and more pictures going. in today's society where everything has a photo behind it, this is one of those that will never get old. You go back through the annals of time, you go back and you look in Armstrong's gym when they were winning titles back in the day, and it's the exact same picture with the exact same excitement from these young athletes. So happy for them, so happy for what they are about. These seniors leaving a legacy that hasn't been dealt with here in Champlin Park.
We're going to be going to that press conference here in a few minutes and hearing from Eagan and Champlin Park both. What a great season again, Andy, we had on CCX. Some fun teams to cover. We saw Wayzata bounce back from that tough season they had a year ago and get to the section final and push Champlin Park a little bit. So an Osseo team that struggled last year to win matches. They were good this year and played a great semifinal match against Wayzata. And those will be two teams to watch in our area next year. Armstrong getting all the way to their section final without Lauren Clark having come from Armstrong over to Champlin Park this year, just to name a few stories, and obviously this group. We're going to go now to the press conference, and let's hear from the Eagan Wildcats.
2 sets early, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Back. That's that. What can you say about that? That's as dramatic as it gets.
I guess I wouldn't expect anything less. You know, we knew they were good. When we played them in a tournament, it was kind of the same thing. You know, it was only a 3-set match, but it was much the same. So I guess I'm glad we came back and won a couple, but I kind of expected a battle.
What do you think changed between those first two sets and the second two?
I think our defense definitely got better, and Christine Jurgens started getting some nice kills in the middle for us. Kind of changed the tide a little bit. Finally, they were scrambling a little bit more than we were. Our serve receive got better too.
Ellie, in the third and fourth sets, it especially seemed like both teams were blocking extremely well. It sure seemed like each team had the other well scouted. Do you think that was the case? Are you familiar enough with this team that you kind of have an idea where the ball's going most of the time?
Yeah, I mean, we prepared this morning, obviously, to scout the team, but it also was just, we both just wanted to block each other. We both just worked hard and did our best to help our team at the net. So, I mean, scouting can only help you so much. It depends how you actually perform in the game.
A lot of tension in that fourth set. That's about as tense as a set as I can remember. How do you guys deal with that? What are you thinking about during that fourth set?
Just the team. Just stayed focused and staying together, because the moment we pulled apart, we wouldn't be able to win, and it was just working our hardest every single point and not taking 1 point for granted as a team.
Were you feeling the tension out there as much as the fans were? I mean, it was silent in between points.
I did notice silence. I told the girl I don't really hear what's going on, but I did notice silence, but I didn't think twice about it. I thought it was kind of nice.
Maybe 3 straight state championship matches.
4.
4? Wouldn't be an official state final without you, I guess. How do you feel about this one?
You know, I'm proud of the way we played and the way we fought back as a team, and I think that we've come a long way since the beginning of the season. So it's nice to end our season on a big court like that.
The rosters change a little bit year to year, but Eagan's been in this game 6 years in a row. What do you think have kind of been the key elements to this program maintaining that run?
Well, I've said it before, you know, there's no magic potion. It's just, you know, these girls have set a standard in the gym, and it continues on with new girls that come in, and they work hard. They have found a perfect balance of working hard and having fun.
What's tough about Champlin Park? Because it's obvious, but when you're down there facing across the net, what's tough about them?
They just swing hard every single point, and they're never afraid to go for it, and they have some tough hitters that they're hard to stop. So, I mean, they're just a great team all around.
Mm-hmm. They have no weaknesses. You know, they they were strong coming in, and then when Lauren Clark moved in, they got even stronger. So it's, you know, they just have very few weaknesses.
Good.
Good? All right. Sounds great. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Andy, always a tough thing if you're the losing player to come in. The State High School League's done this the last several years now, where they've gone to a press conference rather than you grab a player or coach afterwards. And they've said even the players that are on the losing side, they kind of like getting up there and being asked questions. It might not seem like much, but, you know, you kind of get a chance to calm down a little bit and reflect on what a great match you've just played or a great season you've had.
Yeah, absolutely. I teared up a little bit listening to Kennedy Orr there.
Yeah.
Just a great season for her. Only a sophomore, but to have her season end that way, really, really frustrating for her. Ellie Huseman, again, just a class act kid, and handled herself very well in that moment.
Champlin Parker's ready. Let's go to John Yunker and his crew of 4 seniors.
She's an outstanding coach. She's in the Hall of Fame for a reason, and a great team, and probably the match everybody was expecting or hoping for. Great. Hats off to them, and another great season. So we have senior Emma Schmidt, senior Izzy Aspern, senior Caitlin Weimerskirch, and senior Lauren Clark. Yeah, it doesn't suck too bad, no. That's our running phrase, is that it doesn't suck. The first team sport to, I know we had some individual sports and individual athletes win state stuff. It's the first team banner for the school in 27 years. So it's not just a big deal for these girls and the volleyball program, but it was a pretty big deal for the school.
Girls, want to comment on that, being the first ones? They feel pretty good anyway, but being the first ones.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would feel this great anyway, but at the same time, just to have the school on our back like this just makes it even better.
Yeah, we've been to state multiple times, so like being able to accomplish our goal finally just feels amazing. And it was like a lot of pressure going into it because we wanted to be able to do that for our school.
We worked really hard this whole season, and just to see that it paid off, it's really cool to be a part of history.
You know, look for a while like it might be easy today. I suppose you couldn't like that. I mean, 2 straight. You won 2 sets.
No, Eagan's a great team. They have a lot of weapons. They're a great defense, and we knew we were going to have to come out and play our game and fight and use what the coaches are telling us.
John, can you talk about the resiliency of your team in that 5th set? Because you get up early and then you lose 2 in a row. It could be easy to have the emotions of this team affected, but they didn't. They came right out and battled back.
Yeah, exactly. No, just super proud of, excuse me, their battle and compete factor. First 2 sets were going our way, and we knew they were going to respond. And we had some opportunities in the 3rd and 4th set to maybe put them away. Both those sets were really close, and it was, we talked about before the 5th set. This is it. Don't leave anything left in the tank. You got to go, and maybe we played it a little tentative on a couple points in the 3rd or 4th set. Just because it started to sneak into our heads like what could possibly happen, we just said, okay, refocus and let's go. And they battled amazingly. Super proud of them. So I don't know what else to say about them.
What was the discussion on the bench at the end of the 4th set as you got ready for that 5th set? And Orr was on the run. She ended up with 25 kills. And in that 4th set, I think she had 10 of their 16 kills.
Yeah, it was, like I said, we just said, we've got to be ready for just no more hesitation, just play our game. Obviously pay attention to where Kennedy's at. She's an amazing volleyball player, and they were going to get her the ball any chance they had, and especially since she started to field a little bit and was making some shots and getting her swings in. So, the girls did a great job of responding and making sure they tried to get in front of her and slow balls down, and we did that an awful lot. She got her swings and she got her kills, but we were able to slow some balls down and counterattack. So.
It looked like with Laura and Emma in that 5th set, both of you really countered. Had a great 1-2 punch in that 5th set, and Was that kind of the philosophy, interacted between the two of them because it's tough to set up a wall?
Yeah, we have a lot of great hitters on our team, and they're willing to take a chance, and they're not afraid to make the mistakes, even if it's going to cost us that 1 point. They're going to try what the coaches tell them, and they're going to stick to the game plan, and I think that's just what sets us apart from the other teams.
Did you guys feel on the court the tension in that fourth set? Because it seemed like the entire gym was silent in between points until something happened. Were you feeling that on the court?
Yeah, for sure. The crowd was very big, but like we're used to playing in front of a lot of fans, so I think we handled ourselves really well and really bounced back after the third and fourth because those were tough for us, but we just said, believe in each other, we got your back, let's go out and win.
Any doubt creep in when things weren't going your way?
I mean, I don't really think we had doubt in our minds. I mean, we were just going to go out and give it our all. If our all wasn't enough, then we'd take it, but that's just what we're going to do.
When that final serve hit the net and it was over, tell me what that feeling was like.
For me personally, I don't think it's set in yet. I mean, it's pretty, it's pretty, we understand that what's happened, don't get me wrong, but it still hasn't set in the emotions of it or whatever else because there's such a quick turnaround. But, yeah, I mean, to watch it go in the net and we kind of look at each other, the girls rush the court and the coaches looking at each other like this really just happened kind of thing. So, like I said, it's I don't think it's set in for any of us completely yet, but it won't take too long, I don't think.
Yeah, I love working with them. As Izzy has said multiple times in the past, that we're very competitive, which has made all of us better. And it's super fun because they push me to become a better person and a player. And yeah, it's super cool. I love playing with them. I'm going to miss them.
You must have thought about this for a while.
Thought about what?
You must have thought about this for a while, for a few years.
For winning state? Yeah, it's definitely crossed my mind a couple times. But now that we've accomplished our goals, it's great. So.
Talking about the block, I think it came up huge in some key situations today. Just, how big was that, especially with their hitters, to get those key blocks? Some of them stopped runs, some of them kept runs going. So we talk about that.
Yeah, we talked about that. Well, we always talk about it, but we felt today, especially, we kind of watched and tried to figure out what Stillwater did well yesterday to push them a little bit. And the main thing is, yeah, they have a lot of weapons too, but if you can slow the ball down a little bit, it makes life a little easier for our back row and makes the hitters think a little bit. And some balls went off the block, and some were slowed down, and some were huge stuff blocks. I mean, Lauren had that ball. I don't remember what the score was, but it doesn't matter what the score was because it was an awfully big momentum change when Lauren had that stuff block there in the fifth. And yeah, I mean, that's one thing we try to pride ourselves on is our defense, and that starts with blocking. And yeah, they executed, they did what we asked them to, so super proud of them.
Well, it's been impressive watching a different player steps up during different situations. You saw that tonight with Healy. She had 5 kills, but it seemed like all of hers came at such a big moment, along with Stolpus with 15. A lot of double-doubles. Lauren with 16, Emma with 20. It's just a diverse team, very, very much depth, and I just think you guys came, wave after wave.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing we've been able to kind of hang our hat on all year is that we're going to come at you from all over the place, and everybody's going to get their chance. And maybe somebody's having a little bit of an off night and somebody's having a little bit better night, but if you saw our stat sheet throughout the season, it's pretty well balanced. And not only is that a testament to their physical ability, but it's a testament to their selflessness. They don't care who gets the kill. They don't care who gets the block. Let's just get it done. If it's my time, this year Sammy maybe flew under the radar sometimes, I think. But, she comes in big, and Jordan, I know, flew under the radar. We talk about his coaching staff that Jordan's maybe the difference maker for us, just because people on the other team don't. These guys are great, all of our hitters are great, but people, oh shoot, there's that kid out there, we forgot about her. And then by that time, it's too late. Like you said, she had, what, 16 kills or something like that. So I think it even surprised her a little bit sometimes how much she's involved and things like that. So, but yeah, we're very fortunate to have the lineup we have. And it was a big reason why we were able to accomplish what we were accomplished.
Caitlin, you also had 21 digs, and the numbers off the chart with service return is phenomenal. But it looked like your serve was on. You had 3 service. Was there something different about your serve tonight that you tried?
Yeah, I struggled early in the season with my serve, just missing a lot, and I think I just changed my mindset to like going back there and just saying I'm gonna get it in and over, and I'm gonna put pressure on them to try to get them out of system to help my team.
Girls, how much fun was it when you got to sing the fight song in the student section with the trophy, and what's going through your head through that whole moment at the end?
I think all of us right now are still a little bit like in the game, not realizing what happened at the end there, but just knowing that we have that much support from our school and seeing them here on a Saturday and just how big of a crowd we had and how loud they were, and just knowing that they support us so much helped us through that game. And we're really happy to have them out here.
So that's the first time you've done that, and sing the school song with the student gallery?
No, it's something we started a number of years back. I don't know if it was my first year. We actually brought them down on the court after matches. You know, and the girls sing the school song as we start to pull into the parking lot on the bus, and it's just something that's carried over, and you know, we don't get a chance to do it every match anymore. It just doesn't happen every match, but a lot of the big matches, so like section, we've done it a couple times with sections and things like that, and been able to get them engaged and part of it, because you know, they do help us a lot, and our student section was great for playoffs here.
Any other questions? Coach and players, congratulations on your championship.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy yourself.
Now, great to hear from the Rebels. Congratulations on their championship again. And Andy Guggersberger, they finished off a 32-2 season. A lot of happy smiles in that group and this whole Champlin Park. The rest of the team that's still waiting on the court back behind us. What a terrific season for them, and they bring home the hardware.
Yeah, absolutely. Hard work pays off, and that's something that I know John Yunker's been preaching to these girls for years. And here they are, state champs on top of the world. For at least 9-10 months until the target goes on their back as the defending champs when they start the 2019 season. This group, though, a group that won't come back together for these seniors and even for these underclassmen, as they may come back and put another good team together. This team is done, and only one team gets to say they're the champs of it all, and Champlin Park very deserving.
Let's look at some Rebels highlights from that 5th set. Again, they had won the first 2 sets. Eagan come back and wins the next 2. It's back and forth in the 5th. Lauren Clark got them started early.
Yeah, lots of big swings from the outside. Clark with that vicious ace for a big momentum turn. Here we see the out-of-system swing, and Schmidt never took anything off it. I don't remember calling her name on a roll shot or anything. Here's a big stuff block as Sammy Hilly, we're both calling the wrong sibling. And now we go back. Schmidt again with the answer right there, cross court for the kill. We'll go out to Clark. It looks like the same ball. It's a different ball with the exact same result. Another follow-up ace there. This time they used the home court equipment. And then the big stuff, which may be the coffin right there. Big finish there. And then Clark goes back. And then we see the unfortunate end for Eagan, but a great dog pile. I could watch that. You could run that on loop for the next 10 minutes. I just keep smiling watching it. Great stuff.
Eagan finishes their season with a loss, but a great effort. They're just their 3rd loss of the season. Champlin Park avenges that state championship loss 2 years ago, and the girls talked about this in the postgame. This is what we talked about for a long time, and here they are, state 3A champions. It's been a great season, my friend. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, John. Can't wait to do it again next year.
Yeah, it was great to be here for the state tournament. We weren't able to do the games last year, and thank the State High School League and CCX Media for allowing us to come in the last 3 days, cover the Champlin Park Rebels, and in the end, Champlin Park wins the first state championship for any Rebels team in school history. So, for all of our great crew here over the last 3 days here at XL Energy Center, for Andy Guggersberg, I'm John Jacobson. It's Champlin Park, state champions for 2018.